Did you know the United States once launched an invasion so poorly planned, so wildly optimistic, and so painfully doomed that even the people involved later said, "Yeah, that was bad. Welcome to the Bay of Pigs." The Cold War blunder that practically gift-wrapped Cuba for Fidel Castro. The idea came straight out of CIA brainstorming, which, apparently in 1961, meant throwing darts at a map and praying for the best. Castro had taken over Cuba 2 years earlier, nationalized U.S. property, cozied up to the Soviets, and basically slapped Washington across the face. So the plan was simple: train Cuban exiles in secret, sneak them onto the island, trigger a revolution, topple Castro, ride home victorious. What could go wrong? Spoiler: everything. For starters, the landing site, the Bay of Pigs, was a swamp. Literally, the CIA sent men to invade a swamp and acted surprised when things got sticky. Then, to keep the mission quiet, they didn't want US pilots clearly helping. So the air support was weak, uncoordinated, and in one case missed entirely. When the exiles landed, Castro's forces didn't panic. They counterattacked like their lives depended on it. Because they did. Within hours, the rebels were pinned down on the beach, running out of ammo and calling the US Navy like, "Hey, you guys coming or what?" Washington hesitated. Air support was delayed. Supplies were blocked. And Kennedy, worried about triggering World War III 12 weeks into his presidency, refused to send American troops. The result? The invasion force was crushed in 3 days. Over 100 killed, more than 1,000 captured. And Castro? He walked away stronger than ever, declaring himself the man who beat America. The Bay of Pigs didn't just fail. It pushed Cuba straight into the arms of the Soviet Union, setting the stage for the Cuban Missile Crisis 1 year later. But the fallout didn't end there. The invasion cemented a policy of American containment, leading to a trade embargo that has economically isolated Cuba for over 6 decades. This political stalemate, born from a 3-day battle, continues to define US and Cuba relations to this day, reminding us that some historical blunders never truly end. The Bay of Pigs is still taught today, not because it worked, but because it's a masterclass in how not to run an invasion. If you enjoyed this trip down the rabbit hole, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Smart History for Dumb Times. And if you feel like fueling more historical deep dives, the link to buy me a coffee is in my bio.